Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here. We're streaming in a couple of places, so I'm just going to pop over and make sure we are connected in. That way, if you guys have comments or questions as we go through today's live stream, we can get as many answered as possible. So let me just pull this up. Yes, I see me. Yay! Okay, awesome. It's so eerie to see yourself like in 3 different places, which is literally what I'm looking at right now. So anyway, welcome. Do you guys like the new set here? We, of course, we're doing our fall series, Fall Back in Love with Your Business, which is going to be every Wednesday at 10 a.m. right here on the Cyndi Williams Travel Career Coach channel. But I thought, let's get in the spirit of fall. It's my favorite holiday. So as people are popping on, I'm just going to give them a minute to get all adjusted here, and let's see if I can find my comment box. Okay, Becky, thank you for doing a comment. I know, it's cute, right? I found my mini when we unpacked everything. We moved to Austin back in December, and my holiday stuff is all over the place, so I was really digging this weekend. So I'm seeing comments, which is good. So as you guys have questions, we can kind of respond to those. So today, first of all, welcome. If it's your first live stream with me, I'm so glad that you found us. If you don't know who I am, my name is Cyndi Williams. I'm the Travel Career Coach. My purpose in life is to inspire and motivate people to follow their bliss right into abundance. One of the ways that I do that is this live stream show to help support people who are either thinking about getting into the travel industry or have been in the travel industry for a while and they really want to grow their travel businesses. That's my forte. That's my expertise. I just did the math on it this morning. I started the travel school, y'all, in 1993. So that means I was thinking this whole time, like, I keep putting on our websites, 20 plus years, 25. I know it shows my age, but I look good for in my 40s, right? It's all the traveling. It's the stress-free lifestyle. So at any rate, I'm so glad to have you here. We're doing this series for the next 5 Wednesdays, so every Wednesday in October. And the purpose for this particular series is to really spend some time with y'all on where is your business today, where do you want it to go, and how do you fall back in love with your business? If you've been in your travel business a while and it's kind of flat or it's not growing, I know that you can kind of get into a funk. So the series that I've put together is really each week to give you something to help inspire you and really to help you give you a little bit of a starter plan to get your business back on track, fall back in love with it. Because I work with my clients every day that are knocking it out of the park. And people always ask, hey Jody, there's one of my home run hitters, right? So, and Becky too. So there are people ask all the time, is there really money in the travel industry? Is this really possible? Yeah, like there's a whole group of us. There's a whole community that are working from home and traveling the world and making great money. So yes, first thing is you have to believe that it's possible. And look, wherever you are in your business, there's no judgment. We've all been places where we've been stuck before in different places. So that's the purpose for this series. So specifically today, we are talking about getting clear on your vision for your business. So even if you've done this exercise within the last 6 months, Jody's a good example. She told me a couple weeks ago, she's like, we made this lofty goal and oh my gosh, we hit it by July. So at that point, when you hit your goal, you need to have a bigger, better dream, right? You have to have a bigger goal. Get excited. And this is part of what will get you excited about your business, thinking about what is possible and what if. So I'm going to give you some tools to how to do that. So let's talk through goal setting and getting clear on your vision. The first thing you want to do, you need to get clear, crystal clear on exactly what you want. Most people don't get what they want, not because they're not capable or it's not possible. It's because they're not clear on it and they don't ask for it. They don't set an intention of what they're going after, what they're working for every day, what they're working towards. So getting clear, this is the foundation of being an entrepreneur, the foundation of continuing to grow, the foundation of, maybe starting your business, whatever that is. So get clear on what you want. I pulled I pulled a quote that I love. So Michelangelo, I have been to the Sistine Chapel a couple times, have been honored and blessed to be able to sit in that quiet little room where you can't say anything and you look up and you have to try to sneak pictures because they don't let you take pictures. But at any rate, I love this quote. Michelangelo said, "The greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we reach it." How many of you have been in that place, right? So like when you were in high school, what was your dream? For some of us, I want to, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to, do that thing. Well, my kids are getting to the age where they're 9 and 12 and they're kind of like, yeah, mom, like leave me alone. So if I didn't have this beautiful travel business, which is like another child to me, right? It's like my baby. If I didn't have that, like what would my next thing be? What would the evolution of that be? Or, we had a small business that my husband and I partnered on, and we ran for many, many years. It was not travel related. And we had the dream of that business. But when we hit the pinnacle, oh, we're the biggest in Texas. Oh, we're one of the top 5 in the country. When we got there, we're kind of like, you know what? I don't like it that much though. So if you get to that place or that frustration, whether it be a corporate job, whether it be whatever, you can always make a change. You can always set a new vision for yourself. You can always get clear on a new place that you want to go. And that is what today's about. So let me give you an exercise. You can do it later, after the live stream, whenever you want to do it. What I want you to do is when you're clarifying your goal, first thing, I want you to think about it does not take any more energy to create a big dream than it does to create a small dream. Right? So like when my kids come and my son, he's an artist, 100%. And he'll write his little comic books and I'll say, oh, wow, that's amazing. So what do you think, what do you want to do with that? And so he's like, oh, I want to make comic books for my friends. I'm like, I think you should think bigger. Like, let's think a little bigger. So and I got myself in trouble with this, right? Because he came back the next day. He's like, I want to do a YouTube channel and I want to start doing stop motion and I'm going to do comics. I'm going to be a comic book writer. I'm like, great. So guess who gets to help him with that? So yeah, I let him launch a YouTube channel, which we're monitoring closely. But at any rate, it does not take any more energy to create a small dream. Hey, Kim, how's my puppy? Every time I see you, I think of your, Kim had a cute little, oh my gosh, what breed is he? I don't remember, but he was a cute little puppy when she started working with me, and we're only about, I would say 8, 9 weeks in, and he's ginormous. She said he's going to be around 200 pounds. That's crazy. So it doesn't take any more energy to have a vision for a big plan than it does for a small plan. So dream bigger. If you shoot for the stars and land on the moon, do you care? If your goal is to make $20,000 a month and you hit 18, are you going to care? No. So do the maximum in terms of the biggest, grandest vision you could have for your life. Okay. So, here's the exercise I want you to do. I want you to get out a piece of paper later and I want you to list 10 things that you want. They can be material things. They can be non-material things. Your definition of success is not the next person's. You may want work-life balance, or you may want to only work 20 hours a week and still make $100,000 a year. I don't know. Whatever that is for you, or $500,000 a year for that matter, whatever. Maybe it's time with your kid, those things that you want that would greatly improve and make your life, the most beautiful expression that it could possibly be. So don't restrict yourself going in. The 10 things you want, and then I want you to list 5 things that you love to do. Okay? And then we're going to talk about how we're going to incorporate this in a minute. So create those lists, spend a little time, and make it kind of an event for yourself. Like, don't do it when the kids are running around. You have all this action, like light a candle, put some nice music on. Like, this is your time to really and this might be a hard exercise for you, because sometimes for those of you who have been stuck in the monotony of corporate life, same thing day in and day out, and you're stuck in this routine that you hate. It's like, oh my God, it's so hard to imagine getting out of that place. And I get that, but that's why set up the setting where you're relaxed and you're hanging back and you're kind of in that environment where you can be a conscious creator and you can really get in that space of allowing for yourself to envision something bigger and better. Okay. So make that list. And the other thing, as you create this list, you're going to be like, yeah, right. A house on the ocean. Yeah. Your job's not to figure out the how. And this freaks people out, right? So let me do an example. Do you guys know how to get to San Francisco? Well, yeah, you book a flight or you put it in your GPS. But could you right now tell me exactly how to get to San Francisco by way of a car? Could you tell me every turn, how many miles, where it's going to go? Maybe you're already in San Francisco. In that case, let's do New York. But wherever you are, a city far away. No, so what do most of us do? We go to our phone, right? And we plug in San Francisco on our GPS. And what does it give you? It only gives you the next step. It unfolds one piece by one piece by one piece. Your job is not to be the GPS. Your job is to set the goal of where you're going. What your life is going to look like is your destination. And then through the practices of, unfolding your vision, keeping yourself in high vibration, taking action to do the things you need to do to get your goals. These are the little pieces that will slowly unfold and your new vision will show up in your life. And people are like, yeah, Cyndi, okay. So I'm going to give you an example from my life. And I apologize if some of you guys have heard this story before. When we owned our small business, it was always my husband and I's dream we just always wanted to live in Austin. We just love Austin. The people here are amazing. The hill country is so gorgeous. We would come up here all the time, right? And vacation, spend weekends up here. But our other business was a brick and mortar, had over 50 employees, a lot of day-to-day, stuff going on, because not only do we have 50 employees, they were outside of our building, right? They were outside doing things, doing services in people's homes and things like that. So a lot of attention had to be paid. We had to be there every single day. So the business was super successful, right? So we're making all this money. We have this, people would be like, why would you give that away? Like, what? You're already where, most people want to be. But we didn't like it anymore. It wasn't filling our spirits and filling our souls. And, it was kind of one of those things where every time we went to Austin, we're like, maybe we could get someone to run the office for us, but it just wasn't feasible. But when we got clear on our vision of, I don't know how this is going to happen, but we really got clear on what we wanted our life to look like in Austin, and we didn't worry about the how. And we really started working hard on the vision process and, manifesting this new life for ourselves last year in the July timeframe. And we're like, let's just list the business for sale and see what happens. And normally our type of businesses, they take 2 years to sell, right? So we're thinking, we're in for the long haul, but I was like, no, we're going to sell top dollar lightning fast, top dollar lightning fast. And that was an affirmation that I introduced as we were trying to change this process. You guys, can I tell you, by December 14th, the moving truck was moving up to our house. We had sold our business, found the house of our dreams in Austin, and this was totally not feasible, 2 months before July, right? Because we're stuck here. There's so much. We were in it. But the minute you change that process and you can start to invite that new vision in and take action, right? When things start to unfold, once you set that vision and you stay in that vibration, then things can start to unfold for you, because one, you believe it can happen. You stop worrying about, all the reasons why stuff can't happen. Are you that person? We're all that person at one point, like, oh, I could never do that, or oh, I can't compete with that, or oh, those are the kind of stories you tell yourself that are so limiting, and that's what stops you in your tracks from getting to whatever your grand vision is. So I share with that story with you because it's powerful. We changed our entire lives in the course of 6 months, and now we're here again and we're like, what's the next? So I'm going to be doing this exercise along with you, because I'm like, I've kind of achieved everything we set out to this year already, not even going into fall. So what's the next thing? Where do we want to get bigger and better? So do that exercise. That will help you for sure. Don't worry about the steps right now. You're just setting the destination in your GPS to your vision. So now what do you do with that list? We're going to do vision board. And you're like, oh, Cyndi, I'm not creative. I know. So I work with people all the time that tell me they're not creative, and then they end up having the best vision boards ever. And it's so funny because when we moved in December, I found this old vision board that I have. How hilarious is this? But I had to go find this again this morning. I literally just was running around this morning like 5 minutes before the session because I was like, oh, let me see if I can share this. So this is one I made like 10 years ago. So this is like long time. But just to kind of share it with you guys, some of the pieces. So I have my little BMW convertible on there, my house on the ocean. What really popped out to me this morning, my meeting Tori Amos again. So, and this bestseller popped out to me this morning. So this summer, I co-authored a book, and it's a bestseller on Amazon. I totally forgot about that until I saw it on my vision board, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just checked another box. So this is something that was in place, 10 years ago, and stuff is still coming to fruition. This car right here, where did it go? Right here. I don't know. BMW. I think it was a 6. So a few years ago, we went to look for a truck for my husband, and that car was on the lot as a pre-owned one, but it was on the lot, and I was like, oh my God, that's like the one I have on my vision board. And my husband, he saw the look in my eye, and he just totally changed gears, and he's like, let's just get that. And I was like, really? So it was crazy, but that was my car, and it didn't work out that well for kids, so I ended up upsizing to a Tahoe. But the point being is I envisioned it and made it come to fruition, which was amazing. Now, here you can say, oh, yeah, Cyndi, if you have money, you can buy a car, or, that's a easy one to manifest, maybe, but it's kind of an expensive car. Bestseller, that's not so easy to manifest, right? But here's the one I really want to do, right? This is a backstage pass for Tori Amos. I don't know if you guys are Tori fans, or, whatever. But one of the things I wanted to do was, I've been following Tori Amos since my 20s. I think she's amazing. I think she's super talented. And I just threw on there, like, I would like to meet her. And so what pops up last November but a charity auction to bid to win backstage passes to meet Tori Amos. I mean, come on. So I'm like, yeah, I'll buy a charity ticket. I'll buy 3, right? So I buy these charity tickets, and who wins? I win. Come on. There's thousands and thousands of people trying to win backstage passes, right? But it's on my vision board, so it came to fruition. So these are just examples out of my own life on how to, if you just believe it and kind of say, I'm not sure, how this is ever going to happen. But when that charity auction, popped up, did I spend $100 to buy a couple tickets? Yeah, I did, because I was like, oh, this is my chance to like maybe meet Tori Amos. Boom. Crazy. So check the pictures on my Insta. My daughter got to meet her. It was super cool. So that is what you want to do with and how you do this is you can go through magazines. You can, pull stuff that are in line with those lists that you built. That's why I like you to make the list first. Some people start with a big pile of magazines and go, oh, like, what would I want to like? No, start with your vision and then go looking for the images. You can go to the internet, Google, print stuff off and put it. But I want you to put it on something physical. Not just in your computer, not in an e-version, because the next step is I want you to put this somewhere in your house that you see it every single day. So it can kind of resonate and get into your narrative of what's going on for your life. We put ours in sometimes we put them on our bathroom mirror. My husband has some too. If we're really working on stuff, or we'll keep them in our closet where we get dressed every day, or I keep I have some in my office as well. So whatever you guys are working on, put it where it's in front of you every day. That way when you get into a funk or stuff is weird, it kind of is it brings you back to that place of this is what I'm working towards, and this is what we're working. I don't know how all this stuff is going to work out yet, but I've set my intention on where I want to go, what I want to do, and put it out to the world. And you have to have that little bit of that release of that faith and trust that it's possible. And that's the piece where, people get caught up because they're like, how is this going to happen? Just don't do that to yourself, number one. Number two is I am a total science nerd. I'm not making this stuff up. Thought leaders from around the world have been saying this stuff really for centuries. If you go back and, listen to Gandhi and Buddha and, all these people that are really conscious, they're awake. They understand that your thoughts are a vibration. And if you change your thinking, you can change what you can manifest. You can change your reality, really. So a great book to pick up for today's day and age. Someone asked me about my book list the other day, and I don't know why because this is my favorite book. The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Amazing. So that's a great one to pick up if you want to learn more about what I'm talking about. But the science of it is why I get so excited about this process. One, because I'm a natural manifester. You know, I was a natural manifester. I sold $1 million at 19 years old as a travel agent, right? Like, that's not the easiest thing to do, having not a lot of life experience at the time. But I've always been a natural manifester, but now that I've learned and educated myself on what the thought leaders, share with us and these great things, and the science now getting down to quantum physics and how your brain waves are a vibration that can interact with real material. There's a lot of science going on behind how this stuff works. So, reflect on that for sure. So share your vision, put it in a place. The next step is you need to share your vision with some people. And this is a double-edged sword because one of two things are going to happen. The people who flame your fire and are in your corner no matter what your crazy vision is, they're going to be like, great, how can I help? They may help you on your path, and that's why you have to share it. Sometimes people, you'll meet someone, and as a result of meeting them, they put you in contact with someone else that gets you to your goal. When we had our first business, we were seeking small business loans. We were turned down by 3 banks. And we were working with a realtor who sold a house because we were moving from houses. And she said, oh, you should talk to Brian because he works with local credit unions. And we're like, oh, I don't know. It's kind of like we were just going bank after bank and getting turned down. It was really frustrating. So, but we met with this guy and he helped us find our first brick and mortar. But he's like, let me put you in touch with Pat at the bank and talk. We went in and lo and behold, that was the business loan that started our first business. We were approved. It went super smooth. So had we never made that one contact of our realtor and sharing that, hey, we're starting this business, we're going to be doing this, and sharing our vision with someone, she would have never mentioned this contact who ended up getting us the loan for us to start our business that then generated $1 million, $1.5 million a year for the next 10 years. Oh my gosh, one person that we shared that vision with. So that's the positive thing that can happen. Like you share your vision and people are like, yeah, let me see how I can help, right? But then you're going to have, and I'm going to prepare you for this, and sometimes it's friends and family, which makes it really tough. You're going to have people that go, oh, I don't know. Does that really work? Is that really a thing? Blah, blah, blah. So you know the ones, right? And listen, sometimes it can be your friends and family. When we started our business, we had no supporters on our family side, but it's because they loved us. So that's the other thing. They're fearful because they want you always to be taken care of. And so sometimes it's like, oh, fear, there's a little risk. If there's risk, then they're like, whoop, right? Especially sometimes the older generations where they're like, nope, you should get a job and work for 40 years in the same company. And so when you say, you know what, mom or dad or, sister or whatever, I'm going to do this great grand thing and it's going to be amazing. And they're like, oh, I don't know. I said, what if it doesn't work? And they start going through all the lists. Why don't you just go get another job? And those were questions that our family gave us. So why don't you just go get another job? Like you're in corporate, you're making 6 figures. Can't you just go find another job? That's safer. That's today. You have kids. You shouldn't be taking those risks. And that can be super, hey, Kenya. Kenya's like, preach. I know, right? Can I get a witness? So it's so true. But sometimes it's not because they're meaning to be negative. It's just because sometimes it's out of a place of love, but it's your responsibility as the conscious creator, as the person who's trying to change your life and have this big vision to be unwavering in what your vision for your life or your business is. Unwavering. When we opened our business, so we got that business loan, right? I'm ending up telling a whole story here, but that's a whole through line of what happened. We got our business loan. We opened our business July of 2008, y'all. Do you remember what happened in September, October? We had the recession. And my husband looked at me. He goes, this shit's got to work. Because we both left big corporate jobs and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And by all intents and purposes, that business should have failed. We opened during the recession. Our area was hit pretty rough, but we were so diligent in we just knew if we worked together, we were going to make it a success. We had our vision, and by God, we were the fastest growing in the country for the next 2 years. And we did what it took. And when opportunities arise, we acted on them, and we just kept following. We just stayed true to that vision. And we made sacrifices. Like, we rented out our big 3,500 square foot home, and we rented a little tiny 2,000 square foot, well, 2,000 is not tiny, but smaller than what we were accustomed to, right by the office so we could stay focused. So it's not that we didn't make sacrifices or everything just happened so easy. No, but we said whatever it takes to get to this goal is what we're going to do. And then you fast forward 3 or 4 years and people are like, so what's this thing again? Like, can I open one of those businesses? Because then they see you traveling and buying new cars and buying new houses. And it becomes like, wow, like maybe I should pay attention here. But it felt sometimes like it was just me and my husband, like the world was against us and like no one got what we were trying to do or why we did it. And he has a master's degree. So of course, his family was like, you can take that master's and go do whatever. But we just wanted to do our own thing. And at the time that was on our journey and on our path for us to do, because a lot of the things we learned in that business, we brought into our travel business as well. And which is why it's so successful today. So keep staying true to that vision. When that stuff pops up with people, just know it's going to happen, and you can say, I appreciate your opinion. I'm still moving forward on this. I really would love your support. Or just limit your time with those folks, okay? That's the other thing. They can still be friends and family, but there's another video out there somewhere I did that said, have your circle. Make sure in your circle are all people that are supporting you. The 5 closest people to you that you interact with, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? So I spend a lot of time with my husband, who's an amazing coach, supporter, advocate. No matter what crazy idea I come up with, he's like, it sounds crazy, but let's do it. You have my support. How can I help, right? And then, look at who's in your cell phone. Are those people supporters, or do they, pull you down a little bit? And if they pull you down just because they're going through their own thing and their own experience, then just maybe limit your time or make them maybe not in your top 5 anymore. And that's a tough thing to say, but if you have this grand vision for yourself, you have to make sure you are surrounded by people that fan your flames and don't extinguish your fire, because you don't have time for all that. You have no time for that. Like, you are the captain of your ship. You're moving forward. You're a conscious creator. You have this big vision. Your role now is just knowing that's going to happen and taking action as stuff unfolds. So share that vision. I know that can be a tough one. Let's see. Oh my gosh, we are all the way to questions. I can't believe we got through all of that. So what I want you guys to do for homework this week, do yourself a favor, set that time, make the list of the 10 things that you want and 5 things that you love to do, and then incorporate that in some visual manner on a vision board, whether it's you want to be a bestseller. I don't know if you want to meet Tori, or maybe there's some other famous person that would be cool for you to meet, or whatever you want to do. Put it on, right? Get it on that board, and I promise it'll be it'll take you like an hour, hour and a half if you need a little more time to think through. But you do that piece, because what I'm trying to do is set the stage for your 2019, right? We're in 4th quarter. Maybe you have a travel business, maybe you don't, but if you have a travel business, you should already be thinking about your spring promotions for next year. I know we're going to talk about promotions next week for fall, but you have to set the stage for what do you want out of next year, and make sure you're getting your foundation and things in place right now to make sure those things are happening. So do that homework of getting your vision board together. Share, what my vision, as crazy as it sounds, my vision is this for my company next year. My vision for my life is blah, blah, blah. Share it with those close friends that are going to fan your flames. That's what your homework is for this week. If you guys are thinking about starting a travel business or supersizing, that's what I work with clients every day to do. So if you want to work with me personally, you can check the link below. We take a couple of people every single month that we invite into our program, careersonvacation.com/ready now to apply. And if nothing else, you can do a discovery call with my team to help get clear on this vision and understand what do you want out of your business, and we can give you some helpful suggestions on, starting your path and your journey. Last but not least, remember, every Wednesday in October, we're going to be doing these live streams. Next week, 10/10 is our favorite fall promotion. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the promotions that have been amazing for us for fall and winter timeframe. And 10:17, I'm doing a wild card. We work with travel agent hacks to kind of do a co-session on the third Wednesday of the month. So that one's going to be a surprise. 10:24, we're going to talk about scary things in your business. So there's things where you're just like, oh, I'm horrified of payroll, or I'm horrified of like QuickBooks, or I'm horrified of getting visible in my business. Whatever those things are most scary for you, we're going to be talking through the top things that I hear and then answering some questions for you. 10:31, Halloween. Set some time. Maybe I'm going to do a costume. I haven't decided yet, but that's going to be an open session. You guys can ask me questions for 30, 45 minutes of whatever you want to ask me. Maybe you have questions on social media, on marketing, on how to scale, on how to recruit, on whatever. I don't care. How to manifest. And listen, keep me posted on how you guys, what you're putting on your vision boards and what you're manifesting. And as these things start to show up, please share it in the group. I would love to hear about that. If you think that these sessions could be valuable for any other people out there or travel agents, definitely share our page. We would love to connect with them, and you can connect with me on Instagram at Wanderlust CEO. So y'all have a fantastic week. Wait, I'm going to check for questions. Let me real quick. So I have, oh my gosh. Jennifer says, love the Mickey pumpkin. I know, right? Oh, Faye. Hey, Faye. Love the set. I know. So fun. My kids that helped me do it. Hey, Julie. Good to see you. And Kim. And we have love. Great. So I don't have any questions. I have a couple minutes for questions. If you guys have anything, want to pop it in. I'm going to wait another 30 seconds. We can talk about, while I'm waiting for questions to come in, we can talk about, I have this insane coffee mug collection and obsession today, and I try to like match my mug with my outfit. I think I did pretty good today. All right, Becky says, oh, you have to do A, and then it cut her off. Let me check over and see if I can read it on Facebook. I literally have like 6 sessions of myself up here. Let's see. Oh, Becky says, okay, I see. It's cutting some stuff off. Becky says, you have to do a costume. Yes, I know, right? So, good deal. Good. All right, well, we don't have any questions coming in, y'all. So, save your questions for that session on 10:31 and bring it. Like, I want to help you. Let's talk about getting your businesses supersized and out there in the world. So, much love, much abundance to you guys. Love you so much. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.